Okay, so I'm here today with the final presentation for my level design class. Before I go through my level and explain what I've added, I wanted to say how much fun I had while designing my level and how great the class was. So it wasn't until now that I realized that I based a lot of the modeling I made for the tables and chairs. I based it around Levine's campus for CPCC, on their cafeteria and stuff. Since Levine campus was my primary campus that I went to, that I enjoyed and spent so much time in, so it has shown me that I reflect my nostalgia into my game design that I do. So I thought that was really cool and I noticed it. So let's get into presenting. So from the last few presentations, I could tell that I did a little too much on the first level design. I guess I was having too much fun designing it at that point. So it wasn't after that. It wasn't much for me to add after that. But once you walk into the first room, I added chairs and a roof finally because if there's no roof, then it's certain demise in space. Every single room is still pretty much the same. If you go over here into the to this room right here, I wasn't able to fix the issue I had with this one-sided dimension kind of place. But honestly, I think it's acceptable. Even though if you walk a little bit too far this way, it's still out of bounds, and it looks really cool from the outside, but from the inside, it's just you can't see it. But I think from that perspective, I think it's alright because you want to be able to see from inside out. And also, it was really hard to get the exact pixels to cut here, so it's not an exact cut. But I had a lot of fun with this little opening as I would just break myself into it, as so. But this is one of the rooms I was talking about when it came to modeling it after Levine's campus cafeteria area. So if we go back, oh wait, I just realized that these chairs are not modeled the best. I think that's alright. A little oversized chair is not too much of an issue. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to sit down. When it comes over to the living area, I didn't really add much from what I've had before. I think a lot of my designs are pretty solid from when I started. There's a roofing area, the bathroom's over there, a regular dorm room. There's a chair here. And now the classrooms are a little bit more touched upon than what I've added over here, but there wasn't much for me to add from what I've had before. It's a very, very simple level design. This classroom, and here we have a classroom filled with chairs and little lockers and cubby holes. So let's go ahead and exit this and get. Whoa! I. How did that happen? Wait, that's interesting. I don't know how that happened. Did I break through a wall? I did! Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Anyways, so here's the view from the outside. Let's go ahead and remove this roof for a little bit. If I'll move that back in a bit. So this is the level from a bird's eye view. So now I can answer some questions about the level if I can go ahead and have that up. Okay, so from the start to the end of this level designing, it was really fun at the start. When it came to the end, I feel like I was adding a lot more details than I was supposed to, even though the level itself doesn't look detailed at all. But when it came to modeling, I had a lot of fun modeling myself instead of looking for assets off the internet and using them in my level design. But one thing when it came to making my own models was naming them all. So, if I can find my mouse. Here on the right, I have so many unnamed assets all the way up to the 300s, to the 400s. Jeez. When I first started level designing, I did give my models names and have them very nicely organized. Chair one, chair, many chairs, class door. If I can find any other names, outside door, roof, walls, etc., etc. It came to a point when modeling where it was just too tedious for me, and I just couldn't get to it, and I just really just left it like that. That's one thing I really wish I would have changed so that things could be a little bit more organized. Unfortunately, it's not. But the difficulties that I ran in during my level. Okay, so I would definitely say the biggest issue I had when it came to making this level was definitely the modeling procedure. Specifically, this tube right here and this halfway working sphere. So it took me a while to understand how I was able to hollow these objects out. Unfortunately, when I tried looking online how to do it, it gave me no help. So I just messed around with Unreal Engine for a little bit. I was able to somehow hollow this sphere out, and the hardest part about that sphere was actually cutting this area. Here, let me move this tube so we can see how bad it was to cut. So clearly that cut's nowhere near some sort of hexagonal or spherical, cylindrical form. This was the hardest thing for me to do. Also, because when you click on the sphere, you're blinded by all of these pixels, all of these blinding pixels just right in your face. And you had to click every individual pixel one at a time. And I kept messing it up, or I kept clicking on the ground, or I kept clicking on something else. I'd say this alone took me a few hours to do, which is also one of the reasons why I had to submit the assignment late, because I was just stressing so much about making this somewhat perfect, even though it's not perfect enough to me. But it works, and I would accept working over nothing at all. What were some things you wish you could have worked on, you could have done in your level? A lot of things the main thing that I wish I could have done with my level is making it more interactive. So, the biggest thing that you could do in my level right now is just jump around. And that's not really fun. What I really wanted to implement was somehow making the chairs being able to be sat in. I don't think I'd be able to make NPCs talk, but that's not a part of level design yet. It's more so just making the level somewhat more interactive. It's not just opening doors and walking through doors. I want to be able to do more like sit down and interact with things like these vending machines, or be able to push something over like a desk or a chair just for the fun of it. But that's about it for my final presentation for my level. Personally, for me, I like the way it came out from start to finish. There's a lot of things I would want to work on if I had the motivation to, but this was a lot of fun for me. I'm reiterating, but this was a lot of fun for me. I had a lot of fun designing this and everything. And yeah, that's about it.